explain, is how fundamentally important it is to get the blanks exactly right. Because one of the things that you'll run into if you're making windows, and you've seen this before, Daniel, right? Where with our mortise, we have a mortising chisel, and the mortise is a 1/2 inch, for example. Okay, and we have to get our tenon to fit in our mortise, right? And so you'd think having a 1/2 inch mortise is pretty cool, pretty easy. Well, it is easy once you get it set up, but getting it set up is really complicated because it's all, making the tenon is all based on cutting some off of one side and cutting some off of the other side and leaving a space in the middle. And that space that's in the middle has to then fit in that slot perfectly every time without adjustment if you want a nice, fun, easy assembly. You can make it fit later on, but if you've got 100 windows to make, you got to get your assembly right to begin with. And so we've discovered over long practice that there is a such thing as a big 1 3/4 and a small 1 3/4. There's a big 1.5 inch and a small 1.5 inch. And the question becomes, and literally, where in relation to that 1.5 inch mark is that thickness? You know what I'm saying? So, and that little 32nd of an inch will make all the difference in the world in your assembly. And so it's really important to get everything dialed in exactly right. And so once you get it dialed in, you take your time and you get it right. Once you get it dialed in, then you cannot stop until every single piece is done. Okay? Because anything can happen, right? I mean, the cat could come in and hit the dial, or or a piece of wood can fall over and knock the setting on the saw, or anything can happen, and you come back later and you make all your pieces and something's not right. But when you know that your settings are dead on, that's when you're off to the races. Okay, but to get to where they're dead on, you have to really take your time. You have to really focus and make sure that what you are getting ready to cut, what you're getting ready to mill is right. And so you have to run test pieces, then you run more test pieces, and then you test your fit, and you get everything just right until you know that when I mill up this 100 pieces, every single one of these pieces is going to work. Because last thing in the world is you don't want 100 wrong pieces. That's a drag. All right. So anyway, so that's what we have here. We have 88 of these pieces. I just knocked over. I got 22 of these guys, 22 of these guys, 22 of those, 22. So we have hundreds of pieces here that we've milled up, and we still have to mill up a few more. But anyway, just wanted to have a talk with you this morning about about getting that material milled up and how important it is. That the machines that we used, just by the way, are a machine called the jointer, the planer, the table saw, and the chop saw. Okay, the jointer gets everything perfectly flat, okay, on the bottom of it, and then the planer takes everything off the top and makes the top parallel with the bottom. Okay, did you catch that? It's deep. And then the table saw cuts that parallel piece to width. Okay, and that width, on your table saw is real important. Then finally, the chop saw cuts it to your final length, and all of those four things work together to make your blanks. Most important part actually is what I call the Trinity, is the holy trinity of the shop is the joiner, the planer, and the table saw. And you can see those kind of back there in the background. The joiners right over here, planers right over there, and table saws right here in the foreground. So, and this is Daniel. And we work together to make custom windows. So, thought you might want to hear that speech this morning. Happy Monday.